I have a very special WorldPainter tutorial for you guys today. I'm going to show you how to make a custom brush in WorldPainter that has the same topography of any land feature anywhere in the world that you want. This is going to be a big deal for many of you because first of all, we could always import a height map into WorldPainter and just have the terrain just boom right there and then make a map from it like that. I don't know about you, but that doesn't work for me, and I'll show you why. I know I'm not the only one. If I just try to import Heightmap, I've selected it, but look, the OK button is not available to me. And I've tried everything that I can think of as far as tweaking with the options here, and nothing has made that OK button available to me, so I can't import it. But that's alright. I mean, with the custom brushes I have, I can build basically any kind of terrain that I want. But a lot of times I want to get the topography of a very specific area. For example, the hills in Switzerland have very distinct characteristics. So what we're really doing here is we need to find a height map in order to create the custom brush. All custom brushes are created from grayscale height map images. I'm going to give you some very specific tips that I haven't seen in other tutorials that I believe are very important when you're creating custom brushes and custom maps. Also, we're not going to screw around with too many technicalities of things or too much explaining. I'm going to show you the simplest, most straightforward way of getting that custom brush of that place on Google Earth that you want. I'll put all the links in the description box below this video. Now there's a couple ways of getting this topographical data in Google Earth. There's a method that involves using Google Earth on your desktop, which I'm using Google Earth in my web browser right now. But you can, if you were using it on your desktop, you could download a plugin which basically will overlay a grid over Google Earth, and then you could click on regions within that grid and then download the topographical data of that terrain. That wasn't working for me for some reason. I downloaded the plugin, but the grid wasn't showing up even when I had the show height data or whatever. I had it ticked and it didn't put the grid on the map for me. But instead, and the method we're going to use in this tutorial is we're just going to download it straight from the website. Rather than installing the plugin, we're at the website. And I'm not going to explain this website too much, just follow the link and it'll take you to this screen right here. Okay, so we'll come back to this screen in just a bit. The one program you're going to need to download, besides, I already assume you have Google Earth and you have WorldPainter. I mean, this tutorial is ideal if you actually are already familiar with WorldPainter. But you'll need to download this program right here, Microdim software. This Microdim program is going to allow you to convert that topographical data file into a height map. Okay, so we're going to need to download the topography of the area that we want. This is best if we also are using Google Earth, because we can use Google Earth to search for the area we want. It's like, so here's Switzerland. The area I want is right here. Zooming way in. this little piece of land right here. This area right here. There's a lot of there's a lot of choices I have. I chose this area because it has here's one of those valuable points that I want to make in this tutorial. Part of creating custom brushes, as I see it, there's an important issue about scale in Minecraft that we must consider. If I were to make a custom brush of this whole area right here, it would look like shit because this is a huge area and it's got a lot of detail. And in WorldPainter, the max size for custom brush is roughly 600 blocks. Now, how much space in Minecraft do you reckon 600 blocks is? It's actually a pretty small area, and it's way too small to represent vast, detailed topography like this. The best we can do is try to represent the smallest piece of land on the map while also getting the features that we want. When you're looking at maps like this, real life maps, it helps if you can visualize how it's going to look in the game. Imagine this as Legoland, okay? And imagine your little character, how it's going to look when you're climbing or when you're walking along this terrain. We're going to get the best effect if our landscape makes us feel small, like I've explained in other WorldPainter tutorials. And this little piece of land right here makes a good brush because all these features right here are contained. We can put a square around that and we can get this whole area. So this is the area right here that I'm going to make my custom brush. So now that I know that, and I know exactly where it's at, let's go back to our page here where we were searching for the actual Heightmap data, and let's pick Switzerland, and I have to really look close at the screen here. That would be right here, right where that square's at right there. And actually I needed to go up here and tick enable mouse drag right there. That's what I want right there. And now I select that little square right there. We're going to click here to begin search. At this stage I'm going to download that image. That image is that square right there. It's going to give me that image as height map information, but it's not going to be in black and white like we want, but that's what we're going to use that other program for. So now I'm going to click right here. It says download, data download, HTTP. That's what I want to click right there. Download that. Save that. It's going to take a minute or so to download that because it's a huge file. That's a lot of information right there. And while that's downloading, I just want to make an additional point, harking back to, we were talking about scale. So I was saying, our max size for custom brushes in WorldPainter is 600 blocks. We don't need, if we're making realistic terrain in Minecraft, for example, if I wanted to build a Swiss landscape, I don't need to have it look like this whole area exactly, or even have the details look exactly like this map. The reason is because in Minecraft, in Legoland, you never see this much area of land at once anyway. In game, you can hardly even tell the erosion patterns of the land. So what we really want to try to do in our custom maps is not feeling like we have to copy a vast landscape exactly, but more we want to create the feeling of the landscape. So if I can just make 2 or 3 or more custom brushes that are like this right here, I can use just a group of custom brushes to create a vast region that gives the general feeling of that Swiss landscape. Okay, so that file that we were downloading has finished, and I'm going to put that on my desktop right there. I've already downloaded this, but I'm doing it again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a folder just for that. And I've actually already created it. It's right here. It's called Switzerland. But how I do is I just create new folder, and I'm going to drop that file that we downloaded because it's zipped. Drop it in the new folder and then just extract it in the folder. That way we don't have a big mess of files on the desktop. It's all contained within this folder. And so we just go right click and extract here, and it puts them all there. So we're going to go into the microdim program and okay, click this icon right here, open dim, and as you can see, I've done this before because it's already right where my file is. Click that image right there that I was talking about. When you're at this stage, this is where Google Earth comes in. So we're looking at that right here. So the place I want is right here. This little piece of land right there. In microdim, it's right there. So what we do is we click this little slotted square right here, and we're able to select any part of this map that we want. I'm going to select this region right here, and then it just cropped the whole image, and now we're closer in. So we can select that area and it'll crop there, and we get even closer. And it happens to be right here. That's what we're going to take with us into WorldPainter to create our brush. The brush is going to be this piece. Let me just back up here. I can get back to the original image by going to Edit and Reload Dim. Okay. You probably see a grid overlaying this image as well as various symbols and things like that. What you want to do is right click and go to Grid and select Neither right here and press OK, and I'll get rid of the grid. And then what you want to do is right click and go to Legends and whatever that other thing is. Go to here, Legends, and uncheck all these boxes right here and then press OK. I've already done that, so I don't have that problem. Then you get a clear image. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to right click on this image and click Display Parameter, and then go to Elevation and click Grayscale Monochrome. Press OK. There's our height map right there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to File and Save Image. No, see, I told you this was simple. No technical, complicated things. Just boom, save our height map image. And I'm going to call it Swiss 2. Save it on my desktop. There's our image right there, Swiss 2. And open up my brushes file in WorldPainter. I got there from my roaming folder. And in case you don't know, I have a .minecraft shortcut here on my desktop, and then just go to, and then I can just back up from my .minecraft to straight to my roaming folder, and then from roaming I get to WorldPainter, brushes, and there I am. I had the hiccups there. Must be that coffee or something. Okay, so put that in there. And we're almost done. We almost have our custom brush. We're not quite there yet. Close it out. Now we're in WorldPainter. Actually, I have to close out now that when I've put the custom brush in the brushes folder, I have to reload WorldPainter for it to show up in my brushes. Okay, so I'm just going to zoom out here and select the up and down tool, turn my intensity up to full blast, and find that Heightmap image that we put in our brushes folder, which is right here, Swiss 2. Make it as big as it can go. It's about 600 blocks. And I'm going to raise the terrain up to about level 105. I think that should be good. First of all, okay, here's what we need to do with this. We need to get rid of the hills that are around that little chunk right there. We want to have all the edges be blank. Here's the easiest and simplest way to do that. We're going to click right here at or above level 62. Okay, 62. Then take a soft round brush like this, and we're still using the up and down tool, and shrink it down to about like that. And we're gonna lower by right clicking the mouse around these edges. When it lowers it, it'll stop at level 62. And so it's very simple to just go around that section. Very easy. See how fast that was? Now I've got the actual area that I want. Now we need to use our smooth tool and take the intensity down to about 8. And then just go over it with the smooth tool. It smooths all that pixely shit right out of there. Now what we've got is the actual brush that we want, but we're not done yet. Even though we've got the area, we would actually desire to have that fill out more of the box, and we're going to use we're going to open this up in paint.net and make all the final corrections to the brush that we need to do. Paint.net's free. Don't give me that Photoshop bullshit. Most of us can't afford Photoshop, and yeah. Sorry. I kind of resent people who do like Photoshop tutorials, or they have Photoshop and sort of present it as if everyone's supposed to know Photoshop, because most people don't need Photoshop, because most of us can get by with free software. I'm all for using open source free programs as much as I possibly can to get the job done. Okay, now all we have to do is export that as a height map. Put it on my desktop, call it Swiss 2, Okay, now first what we need to do is we need to make the edges black. They need to be totally black so we aren't getting any abrupt edges when we're using the brush in our custom map making. Go around close to the edge, not quite touching the edge of the actual hill. So we can actually have, oh, I need to go to adjustments and brightness and contrast. So basically I tweak the brightness down until I can no longer make out this edge right here. So I want a soft transition from black to the gray, just until that disappears right there. So I've done that. The last thing I want to do is I want to have this area right here fill out as much space in that square as I possibly can. You know, for the same reasons as I was explaining when I was discussing scale. I just click this rectangular selection tool and I select it so that I have as much of that brush, but I still have the edges black. Remember, you have to have the edges be black. You go to Image, Crop Selection. There's our complete brush. It's ready to go. I have a file for Swiss Hills brushes. I'm going to drop that into that file. And there we go. We just open up WorldPainter again. Okay. Now I'll just quickly show you the brush that we've just created here. Oftentimes when you create custom brushes, you get these lines or bands that appear over the terrain. It's very easy to fix. Just go to our smooth tool, take the intensity down to about 8, and just go over it with the smooth tool and smooth out. It'll just smooth it out enough that it gets rid of those lines, and voila. If you remember my tutorials from the past, I just spent a lot of time and effort trying to replicate those hills on my own by hand from scratch. But don't have to do that anymore. Can have any terrain I want, and so can you. And that is just fucking awesome. I'm just so excited about this. Like, for example, you know, if I want Mount Everest, it's just so easy. You know, just go to the Himalayas and find Mount Everest and just have it. Alright, so just wrapping up here. Remember, you want to have your custom brush contain the smallest portion of a map that you possibly can without losing the detail that is required to represent the terrain features that you're trying to create. Pop me a message. Show me your creations. I love seeing other people's WorldPainter creations. But yeah, you know, WorldPainter has become a passion for me, so I love to chat about that kind of stuff. So keep in touch with me. Alright, that's all I have for you. Alright, bye-bye.